Find ourselves on Lijiang Tower now. So it was a versus unsuccessful to be fair on King's Row, unable to cap anything in their time when they would during their offensive push on defense. And man, they're all really up against the wall there. Some of those Hanzo players with the Graviton Surge kind of caught them off guard. I don't think they expected the Hanzo couldn't really adapt to that composition. So they had the chance now to show their mechanical skills on Lijiang Tower. How do you see them faring up against Ancient Templar here?
I see them just being a little bit disadvantaged here, but they are a really solid team. They got a lot of coordination. They just need to sort out and just maybe spend a little bit more time on mechanics. Does it look good to see that Plex is on this trace? So I saw him playing it on that last map. He's pretty strong at it. He just needs to get a little bit more out of it from now, and looks like they're going to play high aggression, which hopefully will enable Plex to do a lot of work on this tracer.
Both teams going to ready to combat here. Spoons is going to be on the Pharah instead of the Mei. He's a very flexible player. We've seen him on multiple heroes here tonight. With Uvo now and his beloved Genji as Ancient Templar bring the fight to Versus here on the bridge as Bazar and Aloha caught out from the rest of the team. It's very split here for Versus. They need to be careful as the tanks are separated from the DPS.
Yeah, really split the fight there for Versus. They got pushed straight aggressive. You see Ancient Templar, they pushed that bridge, they chased down that Ana extremely early in the fight. One thing that happened is actually Saphira actually managed to sleep the Winston of Control Assault, so he was out of that fight for a huge amount of time. And just by grouping up behind Sparky, they just continue to push forward. They're able to win that fight. Only just here though.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job. Versus, even when their supports were kept away from the rest of the team, they're still fighting. They're not giving up the contest just yet. Wubo does manage to join the fight once again, but Plex has got the kill on top of Sparky, so they're down a Reinhardt shield as Wubo's been taken out as well as Oz Reiner gets himself a double kill, and the first cap of the game here on Lijiang Tower is going to be going towards Versus as Plex gets the kill on top of Spoons.
You know, I leave my words there, they only had 2 tanks alive left, which meant that the healing, just by having Odie, who died really early in the previous fight, he came back to that second fight as the only healer alive for both of those teams there. So he's just able to keep those heroes alive, walk up, sleep Sparky, and they take out Sparky early on. And there's some really good nades as they try and back away.
As your dog agrees with your sentiment there. And Wubo's going to go through the right-hand side, looking for Odie, getting in the back line, but Plex is there to stop him as the rest of the fight's going to happen in the courtyard. Control Alt Salt, jumps into the back line. He's got himself a double kill. He's got Flake as well. It's caught him out, so that's 3 kills going to Control Alt Salt, who just won the fight almost single-handedly.
Yeah, but Wubo's managed to get 3 kills here with his Genji, but it's just a little bit of a waste there. They really went for that after they'd really lost that fight already, as they do have a healer alive, but if they play the aggression right now, they just do have an advantage, but they really need to go in right now. They're just really letting Versus group back up for this.
I might think there's more members alive for Versus because there's only 3 on the checkpoint. They are going to move forward now, Ancient Templar. They do have healthy shields and everyone's got high health bars. The Nano Boost is on top of Bazar. He's beginning to break the shield of Sparky but gets slammed down with the Nurse Shatter. He's going to charge up against the wall. He's still being kept alive due to the Ana giving him some heals, but the sound barrier is going to be popped now by Ancient Templar. They're all on top of the checkpoint, starting to swarm the point, but there's a self-destruct coming out for Versus. Not going to pick up any kills though, but Wubo and Spoons got 1 each. The advantage is with Ancient Templar, looking for more kills now, and they're out for blood as a lot of the members from Versus are going to be going back to the spawn point.
Yeah, a good stop here from Wuvo off that Genji, because when they're running a Winston and running a dive comp, Genji doesn't really work into a dive comp itself. He likes to just run a mark amongst the team that's playing a little bit slower. So Solomon McCree is going to try and shut down this Tracer and Winston that are just constantly diving their supports. So a really good pick from him here, and he just sat at the front of that point, just shooting non-stop. Control Assault don't for a really early dive here already though.
Angelo passed the bridge and they throw down the Graviton Surge. They have a couple of members here caught from Ancient Templar, and the Pulse Bomb from Plex picks up a triple kill.
Plex pretty much might win this fight. Yep, going to win the fight for them. Spy's managed to get a few kills there at the back there. He's just going to try and build up his ultimate here as he charges away down the pit. So really good combo. Graviton Surge, Pulse Bomb. Ancient Templar grouped up way too closely. They should have been expecting that Graviton Surge that was going to be ready for them. So bit unfortunate for them playing a little bit too aggressive for once there, so maybe sometimes they do need to play a little bit passive every now and again.
Versus are bringing the fight to Ancient Templar, and Wubo had the Deadeye, but he's been put to sleep by Odie. He does get the kill just in time. They both threw the Deadeye bullet and the sleep dart at the same time, but we still have the fight continuing here on the checkpoint as the Nano Boost on top of Spoons, but he finds himself not being able to shoot through the defense matrix of Bazar, but he's completely surrounded by a lot of the Ancient Templar members who've done a good job here to win this fight. The cap's going to go back to them, and they're going to start off at 24%.
Yeah, good grouping there by Ancient Templar that time. Wuvo unfortunately getting slept as he shot that Deadeye, so as long as he picked off Odie, that is a big thing. If you lose this Ana in a fight like this, especially since they're running 3 tanks, even though they're not running that typical tank lineup of just sit back and heal and sustain, it is really important to keep your Ana alive in this fight. So it's a bit unfortunate that he got picked off in that fight, probably hoping that he'd survive with that sleep dart.
Well, the hook's going to happen on Lotar from Spoons, sends him aloha, goodbye, sir, as Spoons, does he end up getting killed as well? So it's, the advantage is still with Ancient Templar, but Sparky's called out from the rest of his team, but he takes out Bazar on his own, as Plex is the only one touching the point now for Versus, trying to keep the dream alive. Nope, he's been taken out now. 58% for Ancient Templar Doctor. The fight's still going to continue.
And they're going to burst that Odie there. I'm not too certain about that one. They went for another kill, which is going to stagger them here, which is going to get them really close to holding out fully. They're going to have to wait for this Ana, or it's going to be a really difficult fight for them to go in. They're once again splitting themselves up as Spoons opens up with a hook. Unfortunately, the D.Va is not going to take him out. They really need to make sure they go in together and commit on the same target. Right now, I'm seeing Versus they're going in together, but they immediately split off and go for different targets. Hook's
going to happen on Control Alt Salt, but he quickly jumps up with the help of some healers from his fellow Ana, as the Sambo is going to be popped by Loha, as the fight's happening right in front of the checkpoint. Self-destruct coming out from Ancient Templar. Not going to pick up any kills. Control Alt Salt gets a double kill though with his Primal Rage. Pulse Bomb, not going to pick up anyone here in the background. So Ancient Templar still got a couple of members left, still got plenty of members left alive, with the whole hook coming out from Spoons, creating a lot of space. Nano boosted on top of Bazar, quickly put to sleep. He's still left alive, but there's no one really there to back him up. He throws down the self-destruct, only has the supports along with Plexus Tracer now joining the fight. Both teams at 99%. Versus can't afford to get off the checkpoint here, so it's do or die time for both teams. The Earth Shatter coming out from Sparky on top of Bazar, pops the mech. The advantage is with Ancient Templar. No one's there to contest from Versus, and that's going to be it. A done deal. First cap of the Lijiang Tower goes to Ancient Templar.
Really solid fight there from Versus. I hate to say I wasn't expecting that level of play from them. That was really good from them to take it to Ancient Templar there and really force them into an uncomfortable position where they were a little bit behind. Ancient Templar losing the point first, giving it away to Versus, having to fight back to get that point, and then forcing it all the way 99%. That's some really huge plays out of all their players. One in particular, Odie, doing a lot of job with those nades and keeping players alive. Unfortunately for them, just with the spawn, this way the deaths went and the spawns that came back, they came back with Spark in that Reinhardt. And the big thing about it is, if you don't have a Reinhardt and you're running into a Reinhardt, you have no defense against that Earth Shatter. So he's able to get away with a lot of Earth Shatters into the players at Versus.
And Wubo's going to be on the Sombra. I don't know if he's going to switch off at the last second. Yes, he is. He's going to go to Tracer. So, Doctor, you breathe a sigh of relief there.
Yeah, a little bit of sigh of relief. I wouldn't be too happy if I saw a Sombra coming out here. You really need to run that Tracer's going a little bit too aggressive from Control, so has to back away immediately.
Wubo's in the back line. He's at 6 HP before rewinding to get back to his team. And Ozrhino and Plex, though, they open up the fight with a kill each. The fight is very split up here, Doctor. Look, one side of mainframe and then the other.
Yeah, they're completely all over the place. Right now, Sparky's just trying to eat a lot of damage from those players at the backline. Project able to single out Ozrhino there at the start of the fight, so really well done from him. He needs to stay alive here in the rest of this fight, though. Sparky getting taken down is really important pick here. It's actually Wuvo goes straight into the backline and gets a double kill.
So Wuvo is turning the fight back around with the help of Spoons. He's pushing all the way up closer to the spawn point. He has a Mechless D.Va in his sights, so he gets his Zarya shield to save his life.
Yeah, Ancient Templar, they played up there in that server room as they pushed, sorry, the white room as they pushed onto that point. They got a little bit caught out. Control Sword dived in really early, but he backed away immediately, and then a few of the players just dived on the backline. Plex went in there straight away and found Saphira and focused him out of the fight, which is a really key factor for them almost winning that fight.
Shadow coming out here, no real success for Sparky, but they do have Plex here with the Pulse Bomb. If he can get in a position to use it, he does rewind, he's got more health. Sparky's a little bit low, but Wubo's there with a nice double kill. Sparky's going to get those heals, though, from Saphira, who's been doing a good job all around to keep alive and through the majority of most fights and keep the tanks alive.
Yeah, Plex here probably might use his Pulse Bombs. I was running at 75%, so he could go for a Pulse Bomb really early on and then try and do a lot of damage to the next fight and try and build up another one quickly. But with getting approaching to 80% here, he might really just want to wait for this Graviton Surge. It's probably coming up soon from Ozrhino.
And the Nano Boost is on top of a Control Alt Salt, who's high up in the air, but he hasn't got a grenade on top of him, so he's quite low. Sparky takes out Plex, who got killed with the Pulse Bomb on hand. Project gets a double kill as well, so Ancient Templar still in comfortable control here with 61%.
Yeah, Versus is still sending in Versus is still sending in Control Alt Salt a little bit too quickly. They need to make sure that they're speeding in all their players and going at the same time. Instead of just sending Control Alt Salt, they're boosting him, they're bubbling him, they're sending him in. But because he's by himself at the start, you see a reaction from Ancient Templar. They deal with him early on. They don't have to worry about him too much because he's just completely isolated. There's not enough backup for him at the start of these fights.
Pulse bomb from Wuvo comes out. No success there, so that's good news for Versus as they get back on top of the checkpoint. Throwing down a Graviton Surge. A couple of members caught in it, but there's a sound barrier being popped from Ancient Templar, and they're still roaming around here on the checkpoint, but they have to deal with the self-destruct from Bazar. Doesn't pick up any kills, but Control, Alt, Salt, and Plex do get one each. Charge coming for Sparky to get back into the fight. Spoons needs to get some life back into him. The self-destruct comes out here from Project. Doesn't get any kills. Swovo gets a double kill though with the Tracer, who's been a menace for Versus to deal with, and they're at 99% now. Ancient Templar. Ozrhino's the only one on the checkpoint along with Plex to try and deal with Flake and Project, who finds himself a Nano Boost to Saphira. He's been in the entranceway for quite some time, being able to heal up his team, and no one can deal with him and Project, and that's going to grant the victory here for Ancient Templar.
Yeah, that few players left, and by Saphira coming back at the right time, he's able to throw that boost onto Project there, which is a really good job of just closing it out. But one key factor there is both of those Tracers, Plex and Wuvo, were doing a huge amount of work there. So really credit to Plex and credit to Wuvo there. Wuvo brought it back in the end for his team, but Plex has done a huge amount of work through this whole point, and I'm really impressed with how he's playing this Tracer and how well and how much work he's doing. Unfortunately for him, he's getting shut down a little bit more than Wuvo at the moment.